Hey Aries, welcome back to Divinity Gems. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On here getting out the weekly reading for my Aries. As I was shuffling Aries, all these sirens started going off outside. So something a little alarming going on with you. I remember thinking that while I was shuffling. Pulling from the Black Moon Astrology deck here. I'm doing something a little different. I'm pulling the 15 card here now and later spread from this deck. As I enjoy doing this for myself when I want to just get an overall good feel of energy. I do the here, the now, and the later spread out of this deck. So I did this today for all my reads up to my fire sign reads. And yeah, as soon as I started shuffling for my fire sign, first fire sign, Aries coming out is the first fire sign. All of a sudden these sirens start going off. So I'm really dying to see how that's going to play out for your reading. So 3 rows, 5 cards each. We're going to start with your top row, which is your current circumstances, okay? And the first position, where you stand or what your situation is now. You have Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is mystery. It is if you've ever heard of Lilith, they describe her in the Bible as, when you get into the philosophy, like Adam's first wife, and she's supposed to be this sexually assertive type of energy that was looked down upon actually when it came to religion itself. But Lilith is it says it's time to be careful. Think of what might manifest over anger, bitterness, or revenge. So what you've worked for so hard can collapse with that energy being out there. It is can be sex, glamour, seduction, can be stuff like that. Could be a third party situation, another man or another woman in the situation. They use the word bitchiness, the feminine force, the invisible force, stuff like that. But also responds to knowing yourself, to me, being comfortable in your own skin, to me. But this is the feelings of being replaced, being rejected, being slighted or overlooked. So some of us are in this energy of feeling like, we're not getting what we deserve. This is about winning. Kind of the balancing of karma. So I want to really get the overall, because this is the current circumstances right now, where I want to explain that card a little more detailed than the others. But this is your current energy. So if you're feeling rejected, shame, envy, guilt, like your circumstances at this point in your life are very complicated. It's kind of that haunted feeling, like that mysterious type of black moon type of feeling, like you've been rejected, you've been cast out, so to speak. There's a shadow over you at this moment type of energy. That is overall. So let's just see how the rest of your current circumstances in this first row plays out. So that was where you stood, or where your situation is now, in that Black Moon Lilith mystery type of energy. Second position is other people or surrounding circumstances, and for that is the air element, communication. So they may be wanting to talk to you, communicate to you how they feel about what you're going through right now when it comes to you just being in your feelings over what's going on with you, where you stand in your current situation, how it's feeling a little bleak, maybe a little mysterious to you, as to you can't get a hold on what's about to happen next for you. Other people are just wanting to communicate with you and talk to you about it, or get you to open up about it. Third position, what you're not able to yet see, but what is still influencing this situation. It is Gemini. It is what you think. It is what you think that is directly impacting your situation. People don't understand that, and I do want to dwell on that as well. What you think makes a huge difference in your world. It makes a difference in your life. What we think, what we say, vibrationally causes things to happen in our lives, whether we realize it or not. So if you keep saying, before you take a test, let's just use something small, This is too hard. I'm going to fail. This is too hard. I'm going to fail. This is too hard. I'm going to fail. What do you think is going to happen? It is the vibrational way you directly contribute to what is happening or not happening to you in your life, Aries. So this is something that needs to be communicated to you, obviously, by this air card being out, which is third house communication, and Gemini coming out, which is the third house itself. And Geminis are usually the messengers, as I am a Gemini, a messenger, a communicator. So I'm going to communicate this to you, Aries, that what you think and what you say directly impacts how you manifest things or don't manifest things in your life. In case you weren't sure, staying stuck in negative thinking brings about negative results. Even when I had to just learn, being in a lack mentality or saying, why is this taking so long? Why is this taking so long? Actually was making it take longer because my expectation was that it was going to take long by the energy I was putting out there over and over again on it. Instead of changing maybe up the way I said it, I'm waiting, versus now I am allowing this energy to come towards me. I'm sitting in a receiving type of energy versus I'm waiting, which is almost a negative type of where's my stuff already, is actually pushing more negativity out there. And it's a small thing, but it's actually a big thing. It's actually a big thing. That thought process actually can help or hinder us. So that's something I really feel the need to communicate to you, Aries. The way you think can directly be related to how fast things change for you in your life. So if we've been sitting in a negative energy in our thoughts, it kind of translates to what happens in our lives. The thought actually is where the action comes from. It's the thought process. So you think it, you might take actions towards it, and then you see it manifest, or you just keep dwelling in the thinking of it, and then all of a sudden you look up and it happens because you were thinking about it so much. Even the things we are afraid of, if we stay in our head thinking about them over and over again, that's the worst case scenario. We've been playing out the worst case scenario in our head, thinking about it, and then that worst case scenario happens, and we'll be like, I knew it. No, we kind of caused it, and we don't directly see it as that. But then you know, Aries, what you think directly affects what you manifest into your life. If your thoughts have been negative, don't expect positive results to come towards you. You must remain positive in order to bring positive results to you. Easier said than done, but you must remain positive in your thinking. And that's what is in that position of what you're not able to yet see, but is still influencing this situation. Your thoughts, your thinking, what you think is directly influencing this situation for the good or for the bad. Either way, what you think is directly an influence on your situation. Fourth position, the path you're considering or where the situation is currently heading. You have earth element stability. So it's going to get better for you. It's going to get where if you were feeling up in the air about what's about to take place now, it's going to get you and it's moving you towards a more stable situation right here. And this is what you're considering going towards, more stability, where this situation is heading, bringing you more stability when it comes to finances, where you live, how you feel stable and grounded. Fifth position, the current energies and surrounding circumstances is love. Is love. It is the balance, bringing balance. This is a Libra card, bringing balance to love. And these are all air elements up here other than this earth element. It is telling you, it wants you to become more stable when it comes to your communication in love, your sexuality, how you communicate that to people, what you think, how you communicate that is influencing this situation, your stability and what you view as stable, and then how you love, and your view of love is the current energy that is surrounding this whole circumstance is about love for you. All right, dropping down, Aries, to your second row. This is what is evolving and where the energy is being directed. You have ninth house, faith. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is your ninth house, faith. In your sixth position, what to do next and how to approach this situation is asking you to have more faith in yourself, in the circumstances, and your ability to transform this situation. Now, knowing that you are responsible in a lot of ways for how you transform this situation by what you do and think. Okay? Next position, influences from partnerships, alliances, and romantic interests. Pluto, transformation. This is all transforming for you in this certain sector of your love and relationships and how you view them. What is a stable, healthy love relationship? There is a transformation coming to you, Aries, and what you view as healthy and balanced and stable when it comes to love. Eighth position is what others are saying, and you did get the eighth house in your eighth position. What others are saying about this issue, but not to you. It's time for a change. Beginnings and endings. Beginnings and endings. Eighth house is Scorpio. It's also transformation. Also transformation, changing. And it does involve a lot of sexual energy as well. Just the way you communicate, the way you view it, the way you view love, sexuality. There's a transformation coming to that area. You're going to be communicating a lot more when it comes to those things. Maybe that was an area you didn't put a whole lot of communication in. You just felt like you were supposed to take action on those types of things. You have to communicate so that you can make sure that what you're getting is balanced. If you don't communicate what your needs are to the other person and they don't communicate their needs to you, how can you be sure that you are balancing each other or meeting those needs? Because nobody has communicated what it is that they require in a relationship. Going to be doing some communicating, I feel like, over this next week. And that was what others are saying, but not to you. It's time for endings and new beginnings. Next position was your hopes, wishes, and possible outcomes depending on what's happening now. This is your second house. This is your Taurus, what you have, what you possess, the things you own. You're looking for more stability in that area. Your hopes, wishes, and possible outcomes is what you want to bring into yourself, what you want to have at the end of this, financially, materialistically, what you want to own or have at the end of this is in that position of your hopes, wishes, and possible outcomes. And with the Taurus energy, they are that materialistic type of person that goes after things like that, but does not like to deal with their emotions. You know, like the softer type of romantic, watery type of feelings there. They don't want to go there with that emotional type of feeling, but that is you being okay with being in that energy and making sure that it is balanced overall and what you do for others and how you relate what you give to others in love financially as well is going to take a part in this ending a new beginning. Sacrifices in the 10th position. What's driving this situation? Your sacrifices when it comes to love. What do you sacrifice when it comes to love? And should you be sacrificing that when it comes to love? Was it a wise sacrifice? Was it actually something that you sacrificed that kind of pushed you behind, but you're trying to make the sacrifice for the sake of this relationship, but it's not in your own best interest? Then yeah, you shouldn't be sacrificing anything that's going to help you remain balanced and healthy and whole just for a love relationship. You have to be whole with or without the relationship. Then you can add a relationship on to yourself that actually adds more and enhances you as a person. But you don't want to look for that other person to make you whole. You want to be whole on your own. And you want that other person to be whole on their own. And when they come to the table, they can bring you something and you can bring them something because you're not looking for them to complete you or you to complete them. You're just looking for love simply, which is an enhancement. Okay, so that sacrifice was in your position of what's driving this situation. Current energy surrounding is love. What's driving is the sacrifice when it comes to love. All right, and your bottom row, we're moving along towards the third row. The conclusion based on current conditions or future influences. All right, Aries. 11th position, the state you are progressing towards, the energy coming in is your fire element, which is desire. It is desire. What you are trying to bring in, your own element, what you really want, what you really truly desire is what you're trying to bring in right now for your future. And then influences from others that will have an impact. Leo, I will. Others are going to try to impact what it is that you do or how it is you deal with this situation. This is Leo is others trying to impose their will on you sometimes. Others trying to make you do it their way or see it their way. This is going to have an impact on the resolution of this matter because you're fighting with passion. The other person seems like they're going to be coming back with passion as well as the Leo. They're coming back courageously, telling you what it is and what will make them happy. But it's about you finding the balance to see if what their happy is balances with what your happy is. And that's how you know whether it's balanced for you, if it is complete, healthy, happy, balanced love relationship. If it is a match in that way based on what they want and what you want. So this is the conflict right here. Your desires versus their will. Versus their will. Okay? 13th position, what you failed to take into account, but what also can be corrected. Aquarius, I know. Certain things that you've learned that you've pushed to the side, just trying to hold on to this situation, not wanting to make that sacrifice, not wanting to make that person mad or lose that person sometimes, but just overall, Aquarius is the water bringer. It's the one that brings the life emotions. It's the one that brings the balanced emotions as well. If you watch any type of Aquarius astrology pick is always depicted of them pouring that water basin out. With Aquarius, you know already. It's sometimes where other people have to look it up and think about it. You don't have to look it up and think about it on this particular one, Aries. This is where you'll get that knowing, that understanding that you know what you need to change about this. With that being in that 14th position, and this is in your 13th position, what you failed to take into account, that the knowledge that you already have is what you need to use right now. You know how to fix this situation, and you've probably always known, but just were a little hesitant based off of some confusion in your feelings, your own emotions. 14th position, what cannot be changed unless drastic measures are taken. 5th house, creativity, which is Taurus, losing count, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, creativity, which is here. Okay, so now that's making more sense. What cannot be changed? This is something that you're going through with this person. If you're going through it with a certain person that's kind of got a dominant type of personality, it's trying to show you. It's trying to show you how you can create for yourself a different set of circumstances. You have power to change things, as the Magician card is also kind of creative what you can do for yourself type of. This card reminds me of that, is the creativity of your 5th house, what you can do to change the situation. And it is in your what cannot be changed is you, to me, taking action for how you're responsible in the creation of, like we discussed in the beginning, how you can bring about the good and the bad based upon your actions and your own thinking. So this is that being in that position of what you fail to take into account, that your thinking and your actions are actually helping to create a situation for the good or the bad. So you're going to understand now how you're creating, and your own creativity can make the adjustments that you want them to make, depending on your actions and what you do. And lastly, the outcome on the matter based on what is. This is your card, 1st house, the body. And this is changing your response to the matter can change this outcome. But the outcome of the matter based on what it is addressing the things you do for yourself. The things you do for yourself, how you view things when you're doing them for yourself. So what would be considered selfish, as Aries 1st house, 1st body, is all about the you, bringing in the me. I think overall, this is what's happening. It is addressing what balances you when it comes to relationships and love, how you give to others when it comes to relationships and love, your passions and your desires, how they contrast with other people's will and what other people want. when it comes to a relationship and how to balance those things out, making certain sacrifices to get what you want when it comes to love. It's going to require some sacrifices, but it's definitely going to require a whole lot of communication from you, Aries, that wasn't there, of being honest about what it is that makes you feel stable, what it is when it comes to love that makes you feel good. And there is definitely an ending and new beginning when it comes to relationships. Asking you to have faith. There's a transformation coming, but a whole lot of communication that they're wanting you to do. Maybe it's with a Leo. It's definitely with a strong-willed person. Strong-willed person. So, where you felt heartbreak at, you're going to have some communication with somebody this week, Aries. Somebody you may have felt heartbroken over, or you felt like they broke your heart, or you broke their heart. You're not knowing how this is going to play out or what the overall outcome is, but there's going to be definitely some communication there. Now, when I see the Page of Swords out, when I say there's going to be communication, it doesn't mean it's going to be some nice, lovely, soft communication. The Page of Swords can swing that sword in a aggressive way. She can throw some words around and tell some people about themselves as the Page of Swords, especially if it's someone that made her feel heartbroken. With this Three of Swords, if there was any type of third party situation, that's going to be talked about and that's going to be communicated. It's going to be communicated. You might not see this one coming. This is why this unknown card is here. I'm trying to figure out. You might not see this coming, but there's going to be some communication about how that person felt or how you felt about how that person did you. There's going to be some communication there, I feel like, Aries. That's playing out over this week. Let's see what else we got for you, Aries. Got Ten of Pentacles. This is your wealth, your best desired outcome financially, stability-wise, comfortable surroundings, perfect castle, perfect pentacles. Everything is financially supported and stable. Judgment was in reverse, though. So maybe you're deciding, or no decision has been made on what it is that makes you feel stable, where you want to stay, where you want to live. You are contemplating on that type of thing right now. What will make you feel the most comfortable in your surroundings, where you want to be. Home-wise, I feel like that's coming out for some of you guys, where you want to be. Foundations, jobs, where you want to be when it comes to your money. Maybe going towards a new job, new company, new business. I got victory in reverse. I got milestones in reverse, and I got strength in reverse. So I'm feeling like we're not feeling like we're getting a win with the way things are playing out right now. When it comes to love and reaching a milestone, you have not yet gotten where you would like to get with those two being out to me. That will be a victory in reaching a milestone with someone or something where you want to get to, a goal, an endeavor. Doesn't have to be a relationship, but something you were working on, trying to make it progress, trying to make it move and get to a point where you felt like you got there, you've reached something, you've accomplished something, you've reached a milestone with it. That's in reverse, and the victory of it was in reverse. So you're not feeling confident. Also, with the Knight of Wands being in reverse, you're not feeling confident when it comes to that relationship or that endeavor. This is the Eight of Pentacles. This is you honing in on your craft, just working on it, trying to get sharper, trying to get better, and praying for some strength, I feel like, in the area where you need help, in the area where you feel weak and that you need to work on. Aries, I feel like you're praying for strength in that area this week. The devil is out. Temptations are out. There's going to be some temptation that's going to come towards you this week, of going towards or just sitting there in that negative energy of being in your head. Sometimes we are embodying this devil energy. Let me just be clear. Doesn't have to be another outside influence. Sometimes the devil is right in your own head when you are negatively thinking. Like I said, I really was moved to, when I saw that Gemini and air card out there, let you understand that what you think strongly influences your situations. So it is not being in your head, not becoming your own devil, not dwelling in negative energy to change the situation from negative to positive. And as the devil card came out, it also comes out with this Three of Cups, which is rejoicing, which is toasting, which is going out with friends and enjoying life and having fun again. So if you are in your head, Aries, and you've been stuck, going back and forth, can't understand, if you've been feeling woe is me, you got to get out of that woe is me energy, because that woe is me energy brings about more negative, negativity in your situation. It brings about more delays, more disappointments, because you're dwelling in a negative energy. And how can you expect to bring positive energy if you're sitting in negative energy? So how do we change our energy when we're in our head being negative? We go out with friends, we have fun, we laugh, we rejoice, we have something that changes that energy from that negative feeling to that positive feeling. Understand the devil can be out, but it can be you. It can be you. Change your thinking, adjust your thinking. Bring positive thoughts to yourself to bring positive results. All right, one more clarifier. If that seems, you had a lot of options there with that Seven of Cups. You did. And you were stuck in fairy tale blindness for a minute. This is illusion world. This is feeling like you're emotionally okay, but there are cups all over the place. It's not emotionally okay. It looks like a fantasy world, but it's not. And we were hiding the emotional instability in the fantasy world. That's why our Two of Cups was in reverse. So all of this up here, because we haven't dealt with it there and came out of that illusion and wanted to go towards something real and stable, that was in reverse right then and there. So this is why it may not have become stable, because we were focused on the wrong things. We were focused on the wrong things, and now we're going to be going into dealing with and having more faith and communicating our feelings and what we need. Changing your perception and not remaining King of Swords, who is all logical, no emotion. It is asking you to, it's actually asking you to analyze your emotions on this one right here, and to be more expressive when it comes to what you want in love, so that you can find the proper balance of what you want in love. You have to express that though, Aries, but you definitely have to think about it in a positive light. Once you think about it in a positive light, it starts to change and bring about more positive results. Definitely related to your thinking, and your own energy has to change. Have to be in positive energy to bring positive things about. Negative energy only begets more negative outcomes. So you directly can influence the changes in your own situation by simply changing your thinking on certain matters and just staying hopeful, staying positive, and then allowing yourself to be in a receiving type of energy to receive blessing when it comes towards you, being in that receiving type of energy versus that I don't believe it's going to happen, so it ain't happened yet. Sometimes we keep it from happening just by staying in that energy, just by staying there. So words for you today from Divinity Gems. If you do enjoy this reading, please like and subscribe, and then check me out. www.divinitygems33.com is a website where you can book a personal reading and check out some encouraging articles as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. Until next time.